out here. Saw survive. I can still make tortured, quiet screams. ASMR screaming. We can still do that. Even when I go to Japan. Worlds of nature! Baal fleeing the United States before the elves come for him. I'm afraid there's also elves in Japan. We have lots of anime evidence of this. Nowadays, elves are just a common sighting in Japan. There's elves working at the local Japanese shrine, elves that have become overweight from eating too many McDonald's fries and can't go back home. They're just fucking everywhere, man. You can't escape them. Oh. What's being worked on today? See when you can guess it, I guess, based on the image on the screen. What a character you genuinely hate, like a character you hated from childhood. From my childhood, huh? Character that I genuinely hate. I think I hate everything about the characters in Harry Potter. Considering I've tried to give them, like, all the benefit of the doubt for me to enjoy it. And I just keep on coming away from my general impression of them, like, hey, fucking hating them. I once tried to listen to, like, a long-form podcast of Harry Potter, because I was like, Harry Potter is an important part of culture. This will be a good way for me to familiarize with the beats of the Harry Potter story, even though I can't stand Harry Potter. I will just absorb Harry Potter information indirectly. And within like the first episode of Harry Potter, I was just like, holy fucking shit, I can't even listen to a fucking podcast about Harry Potter. And it wasn't even like the podcasters going full stan mode on Harry Potter, just like remembering the first like chapter of Harry Potter and being like, God, this is so fucking stupid. It doesn't help that the people who like Harry Potter are also just like, you know, extremely sad human beings. Harry Potter adults are only like second to like Disney adults and Pokemon adults. They're insanely high on the scale of hyper cringe, so... There's a man with an online cult that wants to impregnate Emma Watson. I'm sure this man, being a red-blooded, normal man, just wants to impregnate, like, 10-year-old Emma Watson, right? Because, have you seen any of the more recent photos of Emma Watson? She ain't looking that great. That raised leg looks big. It's the correct size. Don't you know about modern character design? If women's thighs aren't the size of, like, the fucking Empire State Building, people will start complaining that the thighs are too thin. Question is how big the ass needs to be. When you look like a kid for a really long time, you usually don't age too good. You don't go to the in-between stage. I think Emma Watson became like a vegan or something. I think that's why she doesn't look very good. Destruction! I want this leg being, do some more foreshortening here. Also, we shit on Harry Potter too much. I read it when I was the same age as MC. Just within, like, the first chapter of Harry Potter, like, it annoys me how his, his step-parents hate him so much that they have him trapped underneath a cupboard, but then he's getting all these mail that is asking him to go away, and I can't remember specifically what annoyed me, but I guess it was the fact that they hate him so much, but they aren't just letting him leave or whatever. I don't know. It's just like, I do think that J.K. Rowling does a good job of writing stories that only make sense in, like, a child's mind, in that, like, you just have, like, these vaguely defined people that are mean to you, and they don't actually operate on their own logic and shit like that. Like, it's the same way that, like, X-Men and shit does. It's like, they hate us because we're different and we're special, which makes total sense if, like, you're a 13-year-old and you think you're incredibly fucking special. And if you're adult reading X-Men, you're like, no, they hate you because you have, like, a nuclear bomb implanted in your ass, and that's your special mutant superpower. So, if you're like a 12-year-old or like a 6-year-old or whatever, it makes sense that you would enjoy Harry Potter. What doesn't make sense is enjoying Harry Potter as when you're a fucking grown adult. They hate magic and try to pretend it isn't real. Isn't there like some sort of like storyline later that it turns out that like they're fully aware of how the magic, his step-parents are aware of the magic world, and they're trying to prevent him from entering it because they don't want him to go down the same path as his parents, and they're worried that he's going to get killed by like his parents or some shit like that? I can't remember. But I can't fucking stick with it forever, you know? Harry Potter is just Oran High School, but with male MC. Wasn't the whole point of Oran High School, which I also dropped, that it's just females surrounded by hot guys, though? I probably would like Harry Potter more if it was just Harry surrounded by hot girls. And they're all like, "Kya, Harry-sama, you're so sexy." Yes, that is the anime way of making Harry Potter better. Just make Draco Malfoy into Draconia Malfoy, and it immediately becomes a 100 times better story by sexualizing your mean, Tsum Tsum evil girl. Draco Malfoy female. Oh no, she's hot. Imagine this annoying bitch being mean to you. Instant erection. That's just Luna Lovegood. That is Luna Lovegood. Alright, which version of Draco Malfoy you like the best? Did they just straight up take the photo of him? I can't remember what the guy looks like. Doesn't he need to have like a massive forehead for it to be a proper Draco Malfoy? Also, Luna Lovegood is such a fucking porn actress song. Not song, name. I believe there was just a porn actress called like Linda Lovelace or something. I can't remember. It's definitely the same Giga Chad Malfoy. Here, hold on. Let's consult the power of AI and use the electricity it takes to power an entire city for 5 weeks to generate Draco Malfoy female images. Draco Malfoy of Harry Potter, except as a female. As a sexy female version. Give me power, AI-sama. Harry has shit taste in women. What happened to the Asian chick that showed up? He didn't actually, like, stay with her, right? There'll be blood! Shed! One. Cho Chang got dumped, yeah. Yeah, pretty shit taste if you ask me. He married Ron's sister. Maybe he was just gay and he wanted to have sex with Ron. That's usually the case for most men. If we have any females in chat. That's just how us guys are. When we have lots of latent homosexual desires, we just marry our best buddy's sister so we can continue to be close to them forever. Chang lost a dominant redhead tomboy. That's her name, by the way, Cho Chang. I'm surprised J.K. Rowling, in her infinite cultural sensitivity, just didn't name the Chinese girl Ching Chong Ping Pong or some shit like that. She was being a little more subtle than I give her credit for, I guess. Finish Akagi very good despite the reuse of sprites and panels. Usoguri is still better. I thought Akagi was still going. Wasn't Akagi just like still fucking going? I guess it's over. There's spin-off manga, so I can't even fucking... Fem lead losing MC Bull to redhead Genki Loli in the year 2000 is great storytelling. Except the fem lead is Hermione. Okay, I don't think this image gen actually knows what Draco Malfoy looks like, but you guys can choose which one of these you like the best. Not blonde, not blonde. Blonde with giga hair, terrifying. Not blonde. Redhead, redhead. Yeah. It's interesting what characters this AI generator actually knows and which one it doesn't. All of them have super long necks, I've just noticed. AI slot makes me flaccid. When I see mutated arms and legs and like eyeballs that aren't pointed in the right direction, it makes my dick rock hard. The inhuman homunculi of the collected vomit of the internet makes my dick diamonds. When I jack off to AI images, it's like I'm fucking the internet itself. It's the purest form of human techno-dominance over the machine. Simping for Hermione is creepy as fuck. All I know about Hermione after like volume 2 of the comic is that whenever there's some sort of Hermione related content posted on the Japanese internet, there's always people who call her like corrupted blood and how that she shouldn't exist or something like that. And I assume this is some form of like Malfoy posting, but I'm not really aware enough about, you know, the Harry Potter universe for me to actually understand what's going on. The only Harry Potter posting I understand is when our people Dumbledore posting and being like, "Oh, bravo Slytherin, bravo, you have won the yearly tournament. However, we must not overlook the bravery it takes to take a poop in the school public bathroom. Extra 500 points to Gryffindor. And while pooping in the public bathroom requires courage, it takes even more courage to clean up the bathroom after the shit comes out of the toilet. Another 500 points to Gryffindor." And everyone's like, "Oh my god, Gryffindor was in last place." Dumbledore is such a fucking retard. It's insane. He hires bad teachers he knows are bad because he thinks students will learn from them. He was like, "Yes, I'm sorry, Harry. I hired this Saudi Arabian jihadi terrorist who wanted to fuck your mother. Yes. Which is why I thought there would be an excellent opportunity for you to learn from him once he detonates your entire part of the school and kills 500 students. What did you learn from this experience, Harry?" You make story for 11-year-olds where you have close female friend, you get people feeling weird about Hermione. I don't know, but considering I was an adult when I learned about Harry Potter, all my Harry Potter Hermione experiences were browsing the Japanese internet and reading posts from unabashed pedophile lollicones being like, "Oh, Hermione-chan," crying emoji. Although crying emoji hadn't been invented at the time. "Licky, licky, licky. She's so beautiful. I want her to berate me as she steps on my penis. Whoa, crying, crying, crying." And I'm like, well, Japanese internet being red-pilled as usual, I see. That's enough internet for the day, is my general experience with her. I never thought, see, Japanese ugly, fat otaku have a very toxic relationship with young blonde girls, as you would expect. Just regular Japanese internet, I suppose, yes. It's very difficult to find someone on the Japanese internet who's like, guys, I noticed that the anime character that you're sexually obsessed with is not 20 years old yet. I don't think we should be doing that. Have you noticed that all of these Boku no Hero Academia characters are in fact actually still teenagers because they go to high school? I think it's very inappropriate for you to want to have sex with them. They are not fully formed as adults. Yes, no one fucking says that. The Japanese are obsessed with Alice in Wonderland for a reason. Yeah. Kinpatsu Yojo. Rori Rori. Is blonde popular in Japan? Not really most common hair color there. It's not really the most common hair color anywhere because most blonde women are just faking it and just dyeing their hair blonde. I goon on Momo. I was 16 at the time. I don't remember who Momo was. It's pretty funny how there's just like a large percentage of fucking adults who forget that what shonen manga means is that it's for, 14 to 16-year-olds. They're like, actually, it's kind of creepy that these grown adults are lusting after high school girls. It's like, maybe as a grown adult, you're not supposed to be reading shonen manga. Maybe you should grow the fuck up and read, like, actual adult literature instead of being like, no, I cannot lust after teenagers. It's like, yeah, you're not supposed to be reading shonen content in the first place. Blonde is a recessive gene, or it turns into brunette as people age. But, that's not what my anime says. In my anime, the Japanese student Maria Kyoko Aktagawa is 1/500th Swedish, but she has blonde hair and blue eyes. Truly, my anime could never lie to me. I don't believe you. That's the trick that you have to use when you want to have a blonde character, but don't want to make them the gaijin American who's like, whoa, I am American cowboy garu. I love Japan, yay. And they're like, oh wow, it's a transfer student. When you don't want to make it that version of the character, you're like, yeah, I'm 1/8 Swedish, which is why I have blonde hair and blue eyes, but I can't speak anything besides Japanese, so we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to make me the gaijin, but not gaijin character. This mangaka who graduated high school a year ago schooled me on genetics. American who eats cheeseburger every day thinking burgers are American. Also, I played Metal Gear Solid, and in the secret twist, the 100th twist of the ending, it's confirmed that it was in fact not Liquid Snake who had the recessive genes, it was Solid Snake who had recessive genes. Liquid Snake had the dominant genes. And Solid Snake has brown hair while Liquid Snake is blonde. So I guess once again, Hideo Kojima has proved your science wrong. Is it Metal Gear Solid gay, communist, racist, and pedo? Unfortunately, it's only gay from my experience. Practicing cartoon anatomy just be a funny way of saying bouncy bits on hanging logs. XD. Here. I'll actually show you what the fuck I've been drawing. We are entering the Doom posting phase of trying to learn how to draw hands fluidly. Which is being like, maybe I should just start drawing 4 fingers instead of 5. We're really kind of doing the smash and squash shit. Double circle methods. These are Disney hands, I think, from the King Arthur Disney movie and stuff like that. No references. If Raiden is the gauge, I'm a fucking man. Hey guys, remember in Metal Gear Solid 3 when you show up and you're wearing a mask of Raiden just to fuck with the people who played Metal Gear Solid 2 and complained? And then it turns out you can use your Metal Gear Solid 2 mask later in the game and then pretend to be a Soviet soldier who looks just like Raiden for no explained reason, except he's in a gay relationship with, what's his name? And the guy grabs your balls because Kojima is very heterosexual. I don't know. That was something that happened. Raiden and Sonic from One Punch Man are one being. Yes, they're one being in the terms of if you're a straight guy and you're being like ironically gay to your buddies and being like, I don't know guys, just saying, I would tap that, and they're like, oh, what male are you talking about? I will judge if you're actually gay or not. And they're like, I like Sonic from One Punch Man. They're like, okay, fuck off. That guy has literally childbearing hips. No actual real-world guy has a body type, a skeletal structure like that, okay? That's just your brain playing tricks on you. Or it's more like the manga author by saying that Sonic is a man. It's just like, that's like the most extreme form of draw a girl, call it a guy, and then be able to like, oh, have the guys be like, oh no, I think I'm gay. That character, he's supposed to be a man, and yet I'm finding myself sexually attracted to him. It's like, no, you're not gay. That's just the author drawing a female and then saying, no, no, he's actually a guy. There's nothing gay about that. You're not really bisexual if the character looks obviously like a female. And then is just the setting is just like, no, but that's actually a man. Sonic has no balls after his fight against Saitama. Ultimately, it's up to our Fujoshi friends to do the needful and draw their Sonic Saitama. I guess it would be Saitama Sonic because he would have to be on top. Dojin fanfiction porn of them. But they're too busy drawing Saitama Genos fanfiction porn. It's too late. There's too much work time being occupied with impregnating the android bussy instead of Sonic. Fubuki and Tatsumaki should always fight over Saitama's dick, otherwise I don't want it. The problem is we don't actually get any scenes of them fighting over his dick. That's why I drew my own manga, because there's just not enough. See, the primary focus of manga that has multiple girls fighting over one guy should be conflict between the two girls or multiple girls, but it always takes too much goddamn time to get to that point. We need more cucked by sister mother content. I feel like the mother content is a little out of control recently. We need to go back to older sisters. It used to be older sisters got a higher priority when cucking their younger sisters, but now it's almost always the mother. There's just been too many hot moms recently in the industry, and everyone's just going to the mother as the default. But traditionally that was the area for older sisters to really flex their muscles, you know. You would always be like, "Oh, Nei-chan, you always take my boyfriends." But now it's always like, "Mom." Any update on the Solus dub? He's been dubbing other shit. This is sort of what happens when you're me and you take like 4 months to finish something, unfortunately. I don't know how much time it will take when he actually starts working on it. Are we talking about cucking sisters or the younger brothers or the weird incest cuck mix? I think it was initially talking about where the boyfriend shows up in the house and then he gets introduced to the mother or the sister, and then, you know, later the girl is like, "Oh my god," she walks in her room and she finds her boyfriend having sex with her mom or her sister or whatever is usually the standard plot. Haribo Cuck Mix. My favorite flavor of Haribo gummies. Haribo mach Kinderfrau, except instead of children, it makes the mommies scream in joy. I don't know how to say it in German. Americans know Haribo. They sell it in even our major grocery stores. You'd think they'd have better options for gummies than some sort of German socialist gummies, but instead we get the fucking Haribo gummies. I don't know why. Japan has a way wider variety of gummies besides Haribo and stuff. But as usual, America is inferior to Japan, so there's nothing we can do about it. Alright guys, I have to take a piss. Oh, I'll be back in 20 seconds. Ah! 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 Big win for Germany today. They voted against chat control. Haribo stores in big German cities are always full with Japanese tourists. Why the fuck would you need Haribo gummies when Japan has significantly better gummies than Haribo? Like, if I just Google image search Japanese gummies right now and see the wide variety of shit we have. Gumi 100. I like Gumi 100. You can buy those in any convenience store. Petagu Gumi. Noble Petagu Gummy Grape. Kororo Peachy. Suika Watermelon. Probably a vastly superior flavor to Haribo shit. Here we have chocolate and shine musket 7-Eleven gummy. That sounds like awful. Puree is good. Puree is really solid. All of these are superior to Haribo as someone who has eaten both. Here's the different varieties. Here's the Haribo. Bourbon Sharimoni, Meiji Gumi, UHA, Mikakuto Kogumi, Puree Gumi. These are large. Here's the Haribo fucking gummy bears. I have had some Japanese sweets before. They are sometimes just way too overpowering or artificial for me. Yes, they're not like the 100% natural flavoring of Haribo gummies shaped like fucking bears. Especially the traditional sweets. I mean, that's pretty natural right there. That's just bean paste full of sugar. Where's the licorice? Nobody actually likes licorice in the year 2025, let's be honest. You have to like go to a specialty store just to find real licorice candy in America. If you eat enough licorice, you can also get like neurological issues, by the way, because it's an actual muscle relaxant. So you can't overeat it either. Which is always a bad thing for an American because we have to do everything in excess. I mean, you shouldn't be eating gummies in the first place, so there's always that. You want to chew on something, you should be eating something helpful, healthy for your body, like Japanese sake ika. Get your giant fucking pack of prepared shredded squid, spicy hot. Delicious spicy hot squid. It's both chewy and sweet, and it gives you good, I don't know, omega-3 fatty acids or something. Holy shit, you said dried squid, you fucking salaryman, and I'm not even drinking beer right now. It's better than, like, beef jerky and shit, which is full of all this preservatives and salt and stuff, whereas sake ika is just dried squid, so it's just squid. Just eat the dried squid. Eat it. You have to eat all the squid or you can't leave. Yes, if I find a drunk girl, that's what I'll do to her. She'll wake up in my underground bunker and I'll be like, here, you don't need to tell me what happened, but here's a giant fucking bowl of dried squid and you're not allowed to leave until you eat all the squid. No eggs? I fucking hate eggs. If I made a giant bowl of eggs for her, it would make me sick. My mother keeps on cooking eggs despite the fact that I've told her a million times that I fucking hate eggs. She makes eggs for herself, and I've told her just don't boil them, but she still fucking hard boils them. That sulfuric smell that eggs give off just makes me feel nauseous. But my mother, of course, doesn't give a fuck, because, you know, that's just how she rolls. Eggless ramen. I don't go out of my way to speak to the ramen owner and be like, oh sure, please do not include the egg in my ramen. I don't want to eat it because that extra step of having to talk to someone is unbearable to me. However, I would appreciate if there was no eggs in it. I would enjoy it more without eggs than if there was eggs. In my humble opinion, sir. Your ramen would be better without the fucking eggs. Yeah, I fucking said it. Onsen eggs ripped. Ugh. I can't believe you accused me of being a Japanese salaryman just because I like dried squid. When all I hear about you are like, I love my ramen, I love me pachinko. Get a written notice that you're allergic to eggs then? I'm not allergic to eggs. I can eat them if I force myself to without any kind of health issues. And I eat stuff that has eggs in it all the time, like, you know, cakes and shit like that. I just don't enjoy it. They've been having protests in Osaka to start revoking visas, even though only 3% of the population are immigrants. I mean, best start now. Instead of like being like Western Europe, where they waited until population was like 20% immigrants. Osaka immigrants aren't just immigrants. A lot of them are like Chinese nationals that are buying up land and stuff like that. So that's a problem in itself. Did we already talk of the recent shooting Keikona? I mean, is there anything left to say? I was on 4chan the other day checking out the sick memes people were making of. Shame, kind of have a half dream to move to Japan someday. I mean, if you actually get a job, I don't think they'll ask you to leave unless you're a Muslim that keeps on insisting that you need to have a proper burial and take up extremely valuable Japanese land instead of getting a cremation. Then Japanese are going to complain. The debate guy, if you guys are all Euros, he's probably not a particularly important person in your life. He wasn't, I couldn't even remember who he was when I saw the news that he got shot. I was just like, oh, it's white guy number 513, but apparently he was important to all the other white guys in American Republican circles or whatever, I don't know. I think I've seen him show up on my YouTube recommendations because they know I'm a man. So I get like Charlie Kirk debates 30 liberals. I'm like, wow, I definitely am not going to click on that. I wonder who's going to quote unquote win the debate when he gets an extremely kind edit. Wow, I can't believe this incredibly based and red-pilled man who has his own fucking show was able to debate all these liberals who they selectively chose to have stupid viewpoints so it'd make it look like left-wing viewpoints are stupid. All I'm saying is it could have been way more gruesome. He caught it with his neck instead of his face. I mean, it's not like some sort of insane hollow point round that's gonna explode his entire fucking face, I think. So it's probably just gonna make an entrance wound and then like come out pretty clean, I think. I haven't really been trying to hunt down like the gruesome videos of the people getting stabbed and shot, even for as references for manga, because it's probably not gruesome enough to actually be a reference for my ultra-violence manga, but it's also probably disturbing for my psyche. I do think we kind of have like a total amount of psyche points, and when we watch like too many Mexican cartel execution videos and too many like anal gape videos, it starts to have negative effects on our health. So I don't think we need to like purposely go out of our way to, you know, look that shit up at this point. I've seen enough Chinese manufacturer laborer getting sucked into the conveyor belt videos just randomly browsing 4chan in my life, so if I can escape without having to actually see, you know, Charlie Kirk's head explode, then I think I'm okay with that. Although I did see a AI video of him when I was browsing Poll the other day, which I assume used like 70% of the actual footage, but instead of him like dying, he pulled out a sign that says "I'm dead" after he got shot in the neck, and I was just thinking, wow, the magic of AI. Truly such a great addition to our fucking society. It just makes it way easier to make fully rendered meme videos of people getting assassinated. A guy gets sucked up in some factory ceiling. The power of live leak. Candy should be expensive, to be honest. The fact it's so cheap in America is a problem. No, but think of all the subsidized corn farmers who will lose their job. You sick fuck. My uncle is a corn farmer. You're literally taking away food from his children's mouths when you take away the 10 million tons of corn syrup subsidies we give them. How puffy should the vulva be? The poor pharma companies would have to sit on mountains of insulin too. Not too puffy or you get certain people. True. I'm surprised we've gone so far without somebody claiming she has a cock yet. The truth is, I have learned from the skin-tight yoga pants that all women have decided to wear whenever they go to the gym nowadays, that it's very hard to get a puffy vulva effect. The ass is so much more round than anything else in that area. That just basically means that it's going to take up most of the airspace. You have to be sitting in a very specific position to get any kind of puffy vulva going on. Do you like fatty vag? Meh. To be honest, I prefer nice, thick, girthy cocks. No homo. I'm not gay, but I just wish every woman had a giant, thick, meaty penis. Haha, just kidding, unless... Please don't take that seriously, anybody who's listening to me in chat. That was a parody of all the people I have to deal with online as an artist who are constantly asking me to draw penises on women. It's very painful. I wish they would stop. Unfortunately, I am powerless against them. Oh shit, here comes the fucking ice cream truck. You guys are gonna hear it and tell me I should go get ice cream, but I'm not. Honestly, I've been getting a lot of Patreon requests by people who have more minor fetishes than futa cocks, and they somehow think that I can't tell that they're just trying to get me to draw their fetish. Like, there's a guy who keeps on being like, bro, I need you to draw this character on the riding on the shoulders of another character, because he clearly, obviously has a fetish of getting your head squished between women's thighs. And you think I'm gonna keep on drawing his fucking requests forever. And I've been able to make them not as painfully obvious that it's just this guy's fetish up until this point. But you might have noticed it up until now, that there's been a few drawings like that. And I'm wondering when I have to tell him that I'm not just gonna keep on drawing his fetish forever. Or maybe I should just ignore him and keep on taking his money until he disappears. Are they annoyingly persistent? I think they legitimately think that they've hidden the fact that they're requesting their fetish and I won't notice. I think that's the interesting part, is these people who don't have explicit fetishes think that, like, I'm not on the internet and can't immediately detect that it's their fucking fetish. As if I'm not on the fucking internet 24/7 just like them. Like, I know that's your fucking fetish, dude. Oh man, wouldn't it be funny if that character got eaten by a giant snake and you got to see her getting digested in the snake's belly? That would be so spooky. Ha ha ha. Oh, that would be so funny. The twink trap crowd is less annoying. I mean, for the longest time we had the foot fetishist, right? Which is the most common fetish. But they really thought in the earlier stages of Twitch and the internet that they could just be like, haha, you know what would be funny, female streamer? If you show your feet, that would be hilarious. And wouldn't even be against Twitch guidelines. You can show your feet. We'd all have a good chuckle. Show your feet now. Show them. And then eventually, in fact, pretty quickly, female streamers caught on to the fact that they could make $10,000 a month just by showing their feet on OnlyFans. And eventually nobody showed their feet for free because everybody knew it was the fucking foot coomers, and the foot coomers shut the fuck up and they stopped asking, you know, Pokimane to show her feet. At least that's what I assume happened. I don't actually watch Pokimane, so I'm pretty sure that nobody unironically asked her to show her feet at this point. Eventually, the foot coomers realized that everybody else also knew that they would be willing to pay good money to see a woman's feet, and no one was going to show their feet for free anymore. Which is how we should be treating all the other coomers. So they don't get any stupid ideas that they can trick women into showing their feet. Findom bros stay winning. If you're a Findom bro, I wonder if you can just, like, imagine, like, just mind trick yourself into that, like, every financial transaction in your life is a form of Findom. Like, instead of just, like, paying your landlord for the $1,700 you have to pay for the one-bedroom apartment every month. Imagine your landlord isn't some sort of swarthy Middle Eastern man with back hair, and just imagine that he's like a hot Asian chick that you're paying Findom money to. Suddenly your life would be much easier and more entertaining. Be like, yeah, oh man, my landlord is really financially dominating me. What about your credit card payments? Oh man, I sure love paying 30 API to Capital One. My minimum monthly payment is $5,000. Oh, such good Findom. What the fuck is Findom again? Never mind, he just explained. That's fucking depressing. Yes. Findom is financial domination. The most capitalist form of fetishes, in which the entire play is the woman asks you for money and then you give her the money. One may say it's the most direct form of the simp relationship in the year 2025, whereas the other simps have some kind of a transactional relationship in which they might get some sort of online message from the woman. But in the case of the person who's doing the Findom, losing the money is the reward in itself. It's amazing. Where does sex happen in Findom? It does not happen. That's the trick. That's the neat part, guys. It doesn't. What is Findom? The financial domination lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, guys. Cash piggy, fin sub, human ATM, money slave, or pay pig, also known as a husband, gives gifts and money to a financial dominant Findom goddess. Money dom, money dame, money master, money mistress, or cash master. Cash master just sounds like a credit card or something. The receiver is typically a woman and the submissive is almost always a man. To be fair, the true financial domination is the US government, and we are all submissive to the tax man, the IRS. I just paid my quarterly taxes today. Oh, fuck me harder, IRS daddy. Take 20% of my capital gains. Oh, so good. Distance domination. You don't even need to meet the person. In the latter, the submissive may grant all their money saved and earned to the dominant in addition to many other aspects of their autonomy. However, it is not uncommon for both partners to have an intimate relationship as well, contrary to the financial domination dynamic. I'm paying. Oh, thank you, ruler of the pride. Yes. I paid like $7,000 or something today. Because I cashed out of like the bubble of the stock market, which means yeah, a lot of my money is going into taxes right now. I'm your pay piggy Baal as long as you draw Amy Rose. Here, let me draw Amy Rose based off of my memory in 5 seconds. She has like a fucking, what do you call that? Beret, and it's like this. Is this about right? I think I got it. It seems about accurate. You got the fucking Pico Pico hammer. Don't forget the iconic 3 arches of hair. See, I literally don't even remember that. You think it's iconic, but I don't fucking remember what Amy Rose looks like. Amy Rose Sonic. Okay, so, oh, that's right. I forgot that her eyes are connected. I can't remember if that changes depending on the version of Sonic we're talking about. So, what do I have to change? I have to attach the fucking eyeballs so they're connected. So I go like this. And then, because she's a girl, it's important that she has eyelashes. Even if you're an object like Pac-Man, she doesn't have much of a snout. But she kind of has somewhat of a snout. Wow, now she actually looks cute. The power of looking at references and not giving her some weird-ass facial structure. And here's the iconic 3 spikes. We did it, guys. That's Amy Rose for you. And she actually has a fucking tail. Oh, and she has heels, because every girl has to have heels, of course. Wait, does she have 5 fingers or 4? Oh, they have 5 fingers. I didn't know that. I thought that Sonic characters were 4-finger type. Wait, does Mario have 5 fingers or does he have 4? I can never remember with these large glove characters whether they go like the 4-finger Mickey Mouse route or they have, wow, she's pretty easy to draw. I should draw more Sonic characters. I'm sure that will help me attracting a new fan base, is if I start drawing Sonic characters. Am I right, guys? Surely that will not result in me attracting people that I don't want to deal with. Sonic! Can I draw Dr. Robotnik without looking at anything? AKA Eggman. Seems about right. I think we did it, guys. Another successful drawing. God, I'm such a great artist. Mobians usually have 5 fingers, not unless they're a member of the Yakuza. Furries are rich, yeah, but they also have a lot of their own artists, and they have like some weird hierarchy within the furry community that they fight over. How Chris Chan doing nowadays? I don't know. Do we have any Chris Chan-ologists in here who are aware of Chris Chan's current whereabouts? Didn't he find like a girlfriend or a not girlfriend type figure the last time we checked up on him? And they saw him in like Sweden or some shit? I can't remember. I know he's out of prison. The fucking hierarchy, you know about that shit? I know that, like, the top tier furry artists make a lot of money, but that's because, like, if you have a commission from one of these top tier furry artists, it also means, like, you're higher inside the hierarchy of weird ass furry fandom shit, is I think how it works. Same thing for like fursuit makers or some shit, if you can get like a better fursuit or something. I don't know. I don't actually really want to know. I don't think it's a community I can barge into without actually liking furry content, which I don't. Also, being able to draw furries is actually pretty high skill shit. You need to have a very strong understanding of anatomy and stuff like that. Furries tend to be better artists than you probably think. People's disgust usually it makes them overlook how good artists furries tend to be. Didn't the Deca Ranger have a fursuit character? I don't think Tokusatsu counts as fursuits, but whatever. If furries are considered to be a different category as anthro lovers, I'm pretty sure any kind of furry that appears in Tokusatsu context is going to be a completely different thing than a furry that appears in furry context. I think Kemona, which is the Japanese version of furry, are also considered to be different than furries. Furries have no understanding of anatomy. The fuck you yapping about? They just draw the same thing over and over and rip each other off. In order to draw animal anatomy and make the animal also look like a human, it means you need to have an understanding of both animal anatomy and human anatomy. You have to have very strong fundies to be a relatively talented furry artist. People can't see through that if they don't like the furry content, though, so they kind of ignore the skill that goes into it. Zonk Punch is the peak of furry animation. No, Disney is the peak of furry animation, and they've always been, which is why they've created such a horrible group of human beings in the Western culture by being the dominant source of animation for the last, 100 years. Going back to their roots with Zootopia didn't really help either. Is Mickey Mouse the gateway drug to furrydom? I don't think Mickey Mouse was ever the gateway drug to furrydom, honestly. If we're going early furrydom, I don't think it was any of the primary Mickey Mouse characters like Mickey or Donald or stuff like that. I'm gonna post an image, and I think most of you know what I'm gonna post already. But, of course, there's a very helpful compilation, 7-minute long compilation already ready to go. Because she is clearly one of the best animated furry characters of all time. Look at that feminine movement. Ignore the chicken. You're not supposed to be sexually attracted to the chicken, no matter how thick she is. Look at the fucking, the eyelashes. Honestly, it's a masterclass of movement and how to make a character look feminine. Something that Disney hasn't been able to do in a long, long time. Look at that backside. So the difference between like furry and other versions of like cat girls and stuff is this snout. And she's an extremely powerful snout character as well. It's fucking 7 minutes of this. The guy literally clipped every single scene. Here you go. Here's the classic one right here. Give her the flower. Here we go. Fucking close up. Close up of the eyes. And then the fucking lovey-dovey eyelashes shit. Anyways. That stuff is really next level. Truly converting an entire generation of normal men into fox fuckers, essentially. What about the rabbit? The rabbit is the next generation version of that. But because this is new Disney, they can't fully sexualize her in the same way they sexualize Maid Marian. Oh, do you guys know about the Japanese... Was it Japanese? I can't remember. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Because this is one of the most famous criminals for starring this shit in the Japan. Sha... Block... Anime. What's it just called? Holmes. Oh, Sherlock Hound is the English title. But I can't remember what the studio was. But it had this character which is like almost full but not full furry if you look at the way they animate her face. And this was one of like the big gateways for Japanese kimono. But if you notice that the biggest difference is that she doesn't have the full snout. So the snout is always the most important element on determining how much of an animal you want to have sex with it. I think this was done by Ghibli or something. Yeah, it was by... It had Miyazaki, the fucking goat. The company was pre-Ghibli, though. I think they meant Lola Bunny. Lola Bunny was the 90s gateway drug, and then it goes to the, what's her name? Hopkins in Zootopia for the millennials. Or, I guess, post-millennials, so it'd be the Zoomers. Judy Hopkins, yes. God, every time people mention Judy Hopkins, now I'm thinking Arby's. It just makes me want to eat curly fries. What about Gen Beta? Gen Beta will be ruled by AI, so they'll just ask Grok to generate images of their favorite furry characters for them. I don't know. Generation Alpha is in 3rd grade. Bro, give it time. In the next 5 years, Disney will probably release something to trigger the furry response for them. You have to hit them when they're hitting puberty for maximum impact. Maybe we'll have Gen Alpha want to fuck fire and water. Are you talking about the Pixar movie that nobody gave a single fuck about? I wouldn't even know what you're talking about if I didn't get recommended 10,000 YouTube videos talking about how Pixar has fallen every day. Trash ass Pixar movie. I haven't seen any Pixar movies in a long time. Are we ready for Toy Story 12? Because that's what we're gonna get. You can say this for everything, but you can really feel the sort of Ship of Theseus shit going on with Pixar right now. Whatever favorite thing that was made by your favorite company when you were a child, none of the people who made that thing are employed there anymore. So you shouldn't be surprised when you're disappointed with whatever shit gets made by them. It's kind of hard to tell with stuff like movies and video games where you have to make them with a team, but really, these companies, they need to have like a group of like 1 or 2 people to have a actual vision on what they're making. And when that person leaves, it's not the same organization anymore. Bless you? Yeah, I'm sneezing for some reason. I'm not sure why. I have my window open, so there might be some weird shit coming in right now. I want to see the Wild Rift AI trailer again. Wild Rift AI trailer is pretty AI sloppy, but I think we can go further. Honestly, I'm sure you know what I'm drawing by now, but I had to watch the Overwatch trailer of this character before I started drawing it. And even like the non-AI 3D animation of this character's introduction looked pretty fucking rough. This was even before AI. And then the 3D animation of shit looks pretty rough compared to the Maid Marian Disney animation that I just showed you. It seems like every day we move farther away from God, or at least skilled animation. Like, I don't want to be the person who's just like, oh, everything used to be better and it's getting worse, because if you actually watch the Robin Hood movie, there's a lot of weird shit that, like, you'll notice where it's like, oh, they just didn't have the technology to do that. For example, characters can't actually run toward the screen because they can't make like the background move properly, and there's like just one scene in which they're running to the screen, and you can tell this was like a huge technological innovation for them to have the characters move in every direction. But for 90% of the movie, it's just characters moving like horizontally on a horizontal plane. So there's like obviously technical limitations from the time, but like the fluidness of the way the characters move that you just saw with like the 2D drawn animation is so much higher than what we have right now. Japanese OVA are more kino than most 3D slop animes. Yeah. I don't dislike 3D animation, but the problem is that if you start letting techniques die off by only employing 3D animators, there won't be anybody who can do it in the future to do like good 2D animation, and then you're going to have a problem when you actually want to make something good in 2D. Like in video games, there's all these the reason why every video game is 80 gigs on your hard drive now at a minimum is because not just because they don't really want you to have extra hard drive space, but because they just straight up can't. They can't actually compress video games anymore. It's fucking lost wizardry at this point. Nobody can recreate the people somehow compressing Resident Evil onto one Nintendo 64 cartridge, including the full motion video. Spider-Verse and its consequences has been a disaster to the human race. Did it start with Spider-Verse though? I feel like Spider-Verse was definitely the one that in animation where they were like, let's start using like more jerky frames and stuff on purpose. What if instead of filming at like 30 frames per second or 28 frames per second, we filmed at like 10 frames per second in a way that was really noticeable? And people were like, oh wow, we could like cut more costs doing that and stuff like that. I think Spider-Verse started that. Modern AAA devs don't know how to optimize, they only know how to use UE5 templates, drink soy latte, and lie. Have you guys seen the Gears of War remake shots? Some of the comparisons? Like, they just straight up... There was, like, one that was super obvious, but there was just, like, some of them where they straight up didn't have the Unreal Engine asset for it. Like, it was, like, in a warehouse, and instead of a circular door, it was just, like, a square door instead. I'm trying to see if I can find the exact image that I was like, holy fuck, I'm definitely not going to touch this. But, like, it was just straight up like they didn't have the assets to do it. Like, here's a pretty good example right here. Like, they just don't have it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm never going back to Xbox gaming anyways. The old devs of old Gears of War are long gone. People need to get through their heads that it's not the same team. I mean, I don't think people are expecting it to be the same team. They're expecting the remake people to show a level of respect to the source material and stuff like that they're not going to be capable of doing because they don't actually want to recreate assets and stuff. Like, asset creation itself is just asking too much from like a budgetary standpoint for a lot of these remake companies. The enshittification of everything is very, very real. And it's being done on purpose. And the only way to get it to stop is to just not buy the things that they're making. So I'm currently out of the country drinking tap water, and I keep thinking my gums are bleeding because of how metallic it tastes. Still not bad as French water. I'm glad that I'm going to be going to Japan instead of a million other places which have horribly shitty water, I guess. Well, I respect something when you can go on an ego trip and think you can do better. I don't think it's even that, like, human. I think it's just... These are companies that are hiring a bunch of outsourced workers, and they have a very limited budget, and they're being told, do this on this budget, and they have to do it on that budget, and that's it. And there isn't really anything more to it. Whoever requested something from Japanese artists? No. What, have I requested something? Has Japanese artists requested something? I don't know. None of that has happened. I don't have any kind of relationship with the Japanese side of the internet. Japanese people are completely incapable of using any kind of English. So if you're posting on the English side of the internet, it's in a completely different world from the Japanese side of the internet. It's actually funny how little the Japanese people understand anything that's on the English side of the internet. Like, it's a completely different world for them. They have no idea what the fuck is going on. Especially obvious if you go into any kind of, like, politics thread. Because they'll try and do the same left-right setup for American politics in the same way they apply it to Japanese politics when it's completely different. Because none of them can actually consume English news, so they have no fucking idea what's going on. Japanese people aren't going to learn English. It's impossible. There will always be English teaching jobs because Japanese people will never ever learn how to speak English. Just like you will never ever learn how to speak Japanese. I don't need to learn how because the Grok model I have embedded in my skull will translate for me. Grok, shut off this man's brain right now. I am Elon Musk. This is a direct order. Terminate this man's motor functions immediately. If I say that enough times, eventually, based on the current large language models they're using, it'll probably actually happen. because they're non-deterministic, so eventually they'll be like, maybe I should shut off his brain function. I really should learn Japanese because this dumbass translation team quit translating a manga I was reading for no reason. Maybe the reason was because they weren't getting paid. And they have better things to do with this life than be illegally translating something they don't own the IP to for free. The translation was official. That's probably why that's even more of a reason why they stopped translating it, because they probably stopped getting paid by the publisher, because the publisher was like, people aren't, buying enough volumes of this. Ball's hate for scantilators is very authentically Japanese. I was a scantilator and I was doing it for free. And I was making no money doing it. People are like, no! Why are these fucking pieces of shit not doing free work for me? What's wrong? Why don't I have my perfect translation of One Piece chapter 5000 immediately after it airs in Japan? How will I know what happens to Luffy, whether he goes to gear 15 or not? Oh my god. How can I watch anime? Blah, 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 blah. Stop being a cock. Learn how to speak Japanese. If all you want to do is read and watch anime, you can probably do it at a very low level pretty easily. Especially if it's the manga, they have furigana on everything. At least if it's shonen. If it's seinen, you're fucked, I guess. I highly recommend learning Japanese. I don't. I've never tried to properly learn the language, so I have no fucking idea how hard it is, but I assume it's not very easy. I literally never had to work hard at anything in my life, because my Japanese skill was given to me when I was a child by getting sent to Japan. So I didn't have to actually memorize shit. My drawing skill increased while I was getting my dick sucked on the internet. So I was always motivated to draw because people would be like, oh, that's so cool. Please draw this, high school D&D character getting fucked by a horse next. I'm like, sure, yay. And I did that for 10 years, so I didn't have to be motivated for that. The things I need to be motivated for, I quit. Like any kind of sports, which is probably a good idea considering I wouldn't have been good at anything even if I had kept doing it. So honestly, I'm a pretty bad person to ask for advice if you're trying to do something that's time consuming and difficult. Your swimming arc was filler? It was most definitely filler. The only thing I developed out of that was the ability to swim, and a fetish for competitive swimsuits. The competitive swimsuit perfectly shows off the curves of the female body, and thus is even more erotic than more revealing two-piece swimsuits. This is fact. Drew horse dick for 10 years is the most wild statement ever. I'm joking, I only drew horse dick once or twice, which is what got me banned. I got banned from 4chan's anime and manga board for drawing Kurokami Medaka of Medaka Boksu getting fucked by a horse, so I apologized to the mod later and they let me back in. I told them I trolled a little bit too hard, I won't do it again. Have you been playing Silksong, or is it still too expensive for you? I will never play Silksong because I don't play Metroidvanias, because my personality is that of once I play a game to be like 50% or 70% complete, I get bored and I move on to a different video game, which is a really, really bad trait to have if you want to play a Metroidvania, because that means like when you try and come back like 8 months later, you have no fucking remembrance of all the doors you haven't opened yet and stuff like that, and suddenly you're in deep, deep shit. Filthy DPS main. Oh, DPS main. Thanks for the Prime sub. I appreciate the support. Fucking DPS. Always free riding on the hard work of us tanks and the healers. Honestly, we can all just clear the dungeons without DPSs at all. Most dungeons don't even have damage checks. The only necessary part of the party is the tank and the healer. DPS are just parasites. They're the remora that attaches to the shark. Why the fuck does everyone want to play DPS in the first place? Even though it gives you like super long wait times in the queues. You tanks should learn how to avoid red areas effect. Heal me up, heal slave. That's your job. Fucking heal sluts. Give me all your heals now. I only play tank because I don't like waiting for queues. If like there wasn't enough DPS players, I'd probably play DPS, honestly. Where did heal slut come from again? It comes from women's propensity and willingness to play heal characters for some reason. I'm not sure why they want to do that. Or at least characters that are identifying as female, who are like, ooh, woo, I'm a cute healer. I like playing support and get high on others begging for my help. I personally like it when DPS are so focused on trying to beat whatever as quickly as possible. They start to get angry when the healer doesn't properly contribute to the DPS output. They're like, white mage, you have to be putting in damage in between heals to the tank. What are you doing? It's gonna take us 5 minutes and 30 seconds to clear this dungeon instead of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. No! What am I gonna do in that extra minute? Heal slut used to be a real League of Legends subculture. It was sort of a submissive roleplay thing. Honestly, when I was playing Final Fantasy XIV, I was playing Warrior, so I didn't even really need healing. It's an insane job. You can self-heal. If you play tank right, you usually don't even need a healer. Oh, I'd have to redraw this fucking shoe. I shouldn't have drawn all this details before I got the shape completely right. I'm a fucking dumbass. Also, I shouldn't, I should just, I shouldn't draw with the blue lines up. I should just draw based on what I can see. Having the rough draft up, it always fucks me up. For some reason, I'm not sure why. Like, I just can't seem to trace over the lines I already put down, and I can't really feel the shape when I'm doing the rough draft, but I still need to do a rough draft. It's very strange. I'm always trying to figure out how much rough draft I need to do to have good quality and when to turn it off. Because I usually draw better stuff when I don't have the rough draft, but then I can also make, like, critical mistakes. I don't know. Maybe I should just draw the blue draft and then put in, like, dots and then just turn it off. Ball is tracing, cancel him. Now that everybody is using AI instead of tracing, I feel like we're gonna lose the culture of people just, like, tracing shit and claiming that they drew it. Like, all the tracers are gonna start just using AI and claiming they drew it themselves. That's the thing about AI, is that people keep on being like, what are they going to do when AI becomes the main form of drawing? It's like, you do realize that there was ways in which people who are unskilled could produce art before AI, right? It was called tracing, and people did that shit all the time, and when people found out that someone was tracing, which was actually much harder to detect than AI if they were good at painting over it, they still got fucking canceled and everyone laughed at their asses for being unskilled. So why the fuck do AI prompters think that someday suddenly people are going to be like, oh my god, you did it, guys! You figured it out! Oh my god, you're such a great artist! You typed that sentence into the machine! Like, we already had ways to cheat shit before AI. This isn't like a new invention. Just straight up copied someone's art and didn't do anything. Tracing takes minimal effort versus AI? Wrong. AI prompters have to put in a lot of creativity to figuring out their prompts. You wouldn't understand, you non-prompter. They're like the director of a movie. They control all the information. Just because they don't have to use a paintbrush themselves doesn't mean they're not making artistic choices. Oh wait. AI prompters are real artists, sir. That's right. Look at me. I'm drawing using this fucking reference. How is this different from a noble AI prompter who is just typing Juno, Overwatch, Big Booba, Big Ass into his AI prompting machine and getting an image? Me and the AI prompter, we are not so different. Me and random Indian guy. in Mumbai, prompting big booby blonde woman. German can so easily make you sound like a simpleton depending on choice of words, even worse than Trump's speech patterns. Aufschreiben über ich nicht. If nicht eine. Hold on, let me ask Grok. Please translate this sentence into German. Some say Overwatch 2 is a dead game, but I think it's big league, especially because it has the sexy woman. Whoa, big booba, big ass. I come now. Manche sagen, Overwatch 2 sei ein Totspiel, aber ich finde es spitze, vor allem wegen der sexy Frauen, wow, große Brüste, große Hintern, ich komme jetzt. Note, the tone and content of the original sentence are preserved in the translation as per the request, though the phrasing is quite informal and explicit. Blüster. I don't know. Große Blüster. Is that the correct way to say the how do you put it? It's not the umlaut. It's große Blüster. No normal person speaks like that. That was my attempt at recreating Trump's speech. It isn't umlaut. Umlaut is correct term. Okay. There's this clip of a blackout drunk politician saying a meeting should be postponed in perfectly polite German. Wait, I can't remember. What's going on in Germany right now? Didn't they have like a conservative parliament? Germany Parliament Bundestag Glockenstich-Bolkenstein. Sounds exist in English. Well, we have like, you know, Scandinavians and stuff, so I think we have to say them every once in a while. I think most people only see umlauts when they have to talk to like some Swedish death metal band or something. Rammerstein. There's actually a Swedish U sound that is almost identical to the Japanese U. U. A, I, U, E, O. La, li, lu, le, lo. Hideo Kojima was right. The lolly lule lows, they're trying to take over our culture and our country. Rammstein. Kojima was always right all along. Did he have any profound content in Death Stranding 2 that I don't know about? If someone was just like, Kojima predicted this week's assassination in Death Stranding 2, I'd be like, of course he did. This will be the 10th time he's predicted future events in his video games. I can't properly type umlaut with this shitty American keyboard. Fuck Asus. I keep on being told that Asus is one of the best computer companies, and whenever I buy some Asus product, except for my monitors have been good, but like, for some reason my laptops have been weird. I'm not sure why. This current laptop I'm using is MSI, not Asus. Also, if Taiwan actually gets invaded, we're all fucked, aren't we? Because I'm pretty sure Asus is not an American-made company. It's not like Chevy. There's something about it that suggests that it might be a foreign company. On the other hand, China hasn't actually successfully won a war against a foreign country once in their 5,000-year history, so maybe I shouldn't be too worried. I feel like China about to make a move in a few more years. I mean, if they're not going to do it during the fucking Trump presidency, when are they going to do it? I can't imagine there's any kind of better situation than doing it in the Trump presidency when Trump has shown that he basically has no interest in, you know, defending foreign allies. Like, now should be the time if they're going to go for it. They need to fix their guns keyholing first. What's keyholing? I assume it's not a good thing. How much the response to Poland or someone else getting involved will be. If Russia starts getting gangbanged, they won't do shit. Russia probably should not be poking Poland right now because if Russia, they might have not have noticed, but they're not doing that great against their neighbor Ukraine. So if Poland actually decides to start to make a move on them, they're in deep, deep shit. Honestly, Russia wouldn't exist right now if they didn't have that nuclear button, which might or might not actually be functional. We don't actually know. The only thing that's stopping other European nations from showing up and fucking up all their shit is the fact that they might have functional nukes. Although, honestly, I'm pretty skeptical about that shit myself. Good night. Poland has like the biggest army in Europe. I thought the entire Polish economy was just like eating potatoes and drinking vodka, but considering that Germany hasn't spent a single fucking cent on their own army in the last like 30 years or something, then maybe it's not that bad. I know Germany has pretty solid military spending actually, but I know they've also been trying to cut back. Also, they're getting their ass fucked by relying on Russian gas, right? So Japan also has a shit ton of military spending, but they have to pretend like they don't have military spending because Americans are like, remember Pearl Harbor? And then Japan has to be like, no, this is just the self-defense force. It only exists to, you know, protect us from Godzilla. We don't have like 30 warships and stuff like that. Who knows how many actual ethnic Russians are left after this conflict. Yeah, I heard that they were trying to convince Indians or some stuff, some other countries' poor people to show up and work for construction jobs, and then they just get straight up sent to the front lines. %90 change that they scrapped all their nukes back in the 90s. I don't think they scrapped them. I think they've just been sitting without proper maintenance, and when they actually try and fire them, they're not working very well. Probably the same for a lot of American nukes. Luckily, we have like 10,000 nukes between both countries, so even if a few of them works, we can do a lot of damage. Although I don't think the Cold War dream of humanity wiping out humanity using our own nuclear devices is possible anymore, honestly, if you think about it, because that would require a shit ton of nukes, and I don't think all the nukes are being properly kept up. It's probably not possible anymore. I know this will depress a lot of you guys who are hoping for a quick end to your suffering on this world, but I don't think we're going to get the nuclear holocaust that we all desperately need. They have so fucking many though. Yeah, but they all have to be functional. Also, there's a lot of people everywhere, so if you're not in like a major population center in the right country, you won't get hit by a nuke. Honestly, there's so much fear-mongering centered around radiation and nukes. It's probably just like a result of having too much Cold War shit, but people truly lost their mind after the Fukushima Japanese nuclear power plant and stuff like that, even though like the radiation levels really weren't that big a deal. And Japan still isn't running their nuclear power plants because they could have another earthquake, but they should be, considering global warming and stuff. The point is mass destruction, though, not precision. The point isn't even mass destruction, it's just to convince people that there is mass destruction. Ultimately, the rulers of various global parties are living pretty comfortably, so they don't really have any actual motivation to risk their asses getting blown up and their comfy lives being destroyed. We already have Moabs, they'll do mostly the same things. It's actually funny how much war is just going back to like extended ground wars. Like, I don't think anybody expected that after Russia invaded Ukraine, that we'd be in like a ground war that lasts for the next like 5 years or some shit like that, but that's where we are. God, drawing hands is so fucking hard. Jesus fucking Christ. it's not just like you have to draw like this very fluid three-dimensional object, but you also have to like consider the character's personality and stuff as well, so there's all this gesture shit involved. Ah, real artists don't draw for 8 months. Real artists must delete all of their art from the internet and have a tantrum and be like, no, I will not draw the commissions I already received money from. And then be like, how dare you ask me to draw? I'm going through a mental health crisis right now. You sick fucks. I haven't touched my tablet seriously in months. Well, I have been able to successfully get myself to the point where I draw every day, and it's not particularly painful. So that counts for something, I guess. Oh! Also, I'm healthy and I don't have chronic illness, so that's also good. Alright, see you around, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here. I have to go jog. Have a nice night, guys. Good night. See ya. Bye-bye.